PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is PlayStation's take on Super Smash Bros. And a lot of people absolutely hate this game. Me personally, I love it. In fact, I love it so much that I prefer it over Super Smash Bros. Oh, and I know this is a hot take. For that, I have to apologise that some of you may not be able to handle it, and if that's the case and you're not going to listen to what I have to say, and you're just going to get mad that I have an opinion that's different from all of yours when it's such a beloved game against such a hated game, there's plenty of other channels you can watch instead if you want someone that will just agree with whatever you say. As for everyone else, to find out why I love this game so much, pick up a controller and let's play
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale!
First of all, the roster. It's really damn good. Yeah, we are missing Crash and Spyro, and yes, if this game did come out a year later, we would have got The Last of Us. But it's a pretty great lineup regardless, with the likes of Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Kratos, Nathan Drake, Sackboy Parappa, Sly Cooper, it's all great. The third-party reps also do fit quite well with Bioshock, Tekken and Devil May Cry. Just wish it was the original Devil May Cry and not the crappy reboot which came out around the same time of this game. Okay, so after I got all the footage for the game and I recorded the audio, I realised I actually was a bit wrong in my script. So I was going to say, oh, there's two filler characters, one being Evil Cole because it's just Cole, but he made the bad choices instead of the good ones. Like, this should have been a skin, come on. And as for Fat Princess, I'm actually going to defend her, as I feel like the Smash Brothers games, apart from one, I mean, you're not even one with Jigglypuff, they all have kind of jokey characters, and PS All-Stars should have a joke character too, because, I mean, Smash Brothers has Wii Fit Trainer, this game has Fat Princess, you know? Speaking of which, while making this video, I've also been playing this pinball game, and in this pinball game, there is actually tables based off of Uncharted and Fat Princess.
Ah! I did not see that!
As for the quote-unquote balancing issues, I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be. Like, yes, Sir Daniel's a little too slow, but that's just in a few of his attacks, and it's not that huge of a deal. And as for Kratos, he's not incredibly overpowered like people say he is. Canonically, yes. Gameplay-wise, maybe slightly, due to how insane his range can be, but other characters have got some pretty heavy range attacks too. What about the stages? They're pretty great picks, honestly, most being based off of fighters in the game. We do have one Resistance map though, which... there isn't a Resistance character, so I have to assume it was either just an extra one they did, or they had intention to have a Resistance fighter in the game at some point, and it was cut. And I mean, Resistance was pretty big on the PS3. It's not hard to imagine Resistance having a character playable in this game. One thing I love about the maps in this game that every map does, except the empty barren training maps, they all lean into the crossover angle. The way they do this is by having you fight on one stage, but then something from another franchise will come in and take over, essentially, and it's a really cool touch. It just gives so much life to the game, and I mean, it's a crossover, play around with that shit. Like, Smash Brothers easily could have done this, and at least Multiversus had like one stage that played with this idea. No, wait. Multiversus had two maps, there was also the water tower. And if you look to your left, you will see Hades being brutally murdered by an army of Patapon because Kratos is too busy at his son Atreus' football match right now. But then you have rare cases where a franchise that doesn't have a character playable from also does invade. The main example obviously being the Little Big Planet map, which, spoiler alert, is my favourite map in the whole game. To start off, the Little Big Planet map is extremely creative, with stuff like the level creator actually making the level and modifying things whilst you're fighting on it. Which, I mean, come on, that's pretty cool, and Smash Bros. Even did that a few years later with the Mario Maker map. But then you have Buzz from the Buzz Quiz Show games take over, and he just takes over the entire background, and he forces you to do a PlayStation trivia question. That is insanely cool. The questions themselves are pretty good, but I do think there shouldn't be any directly related to characters who you can play as. Like, I literally had one where I was fighting Parappa and a question about Parappa came up, and it was asking, oh, what species is Parappa? I wonder, seeing as I'm looking right at him, if you lose the question, you get pies thrown at you. Pretty funny. Buzz also makes fun out of anyone who gets his answers wrong.
You are a dozen lifetimes of dents rolled into one.
Funniest thing is, even if I didn't already know the answer to this question, all I would have had to do is turn my head to the right and I can see the answer on my shelf, seeing as I have the game. I also love the level editor literally fighting Buzz. Like, for example, there's a point where it takes his glasses, and then at the end, it just takes over the entire game show, and then the Little Big Planet logo is just slapped on the front of the Buzz logo. Oh, and just guess what franchise Jak and Daxter's map gets taken over by. Just guess in the comments. Everybody's Golf. Laugh all you want, but getting Otzel Golf would be more than what Naughty Dogs gave us for this franchise over the last 15 years. Overall, the PlayStation All-Stars franchise clash idea, as I like to call it, is really cool, and one thing that Smash Bros. Just pales in comparison to. Plus, honestly, there's just more franchises I am invested in here, rather than Smash Bros. Where there's a lot like, oh, I know what that is, but I'm not super into a lot of them. I also love these intros each character gets before the battle starts, such a cool touch to make each character stand out more and have more personality. Now let's look at the main mechanics, rather than knocking the fighter off the stage stuff that you've seen in Smash, Brawlhalla, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Multiversus, Rivals of Aether, Kirby Fighters DX, Kirby Fighters 2, Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends, TMNT Smash Up, Cartoon Network, Punch Time Explosion, Super Jump Star. You get the idea, there's a lot of them. And PlayStation All-Stars has a unique way of killing each other. As you fight, you fill up your super bar for a special attack that can kill your enemy with up to 3 tiers, each tier being stronger than the last. Because of this, you can use your much harder to use, more skill and precision required level 1 special attack for your fighter to gain a kill, or save up and try to use a much stronger one which you have an easier time with to either get one easier kill or kill several characters at once much easier. Then you have the level 3 ones which are extremely powerful, and there's a chance you may not even get up there if you're not good enough. They start with these nice shots of the character, just contextualizing what's about to happen, but also just showing off the character in a cool way, and I love these. They're not much, but they do a lot for me. Also, the Sackboy one, where they all get trapped in bubbles, has really dark implications. I also love that you can get a trophy for using a level 3 super move of a character on their own map. That is so cool. Honestly, I'd go for the platinum if it wasn't for the online trophies you can't get anymore because the servers have been shut down since 2018. Honestly, if it wasn't for the online trophies, I would have such a fun time going for all of the trophies and getting the platinum. You fill your bar with this energy you build up, and crates can often appear just to give you more of it, or there'll be certain things like the pies from the Buzz map that actually takes away your points. Also, grabbing a character that also can get rid of points and give them to you. The special attacks themselves are all really cool visually, and come on, the PlayStation symbols coming up when a character dies, that's such a cool touch. Also, this is the only game where you can die as Kratos due to a fat hippo. The game doesn't have its own subspace emissary, sure, but what we do have is the arcade modes, which I think are just as cool. In fact, I'd say they're a little cooler, but I'll get to that later. They all start and end with these cutscenes which are still images and characters talking, and this is because of Mortal Kombat. They tried to do the whole arcade mode thing from Mortal Kombat, and I think it works really well here, especially as each character does have 2 rather than 1. I like how they have their own musical styles or just styles of presentation and storytelling overall, like how Kratos or Radek will give out a big monologue, while Ratchet and Clank or Sly and Bentley will have a conversation, which of course sets up the scene. But then for Sackboy and Sir Daniel Fortescue, they literally have a narrator from Medieval and Little Big Planet respectively speak for them and narrate what's going on. I love that. Speaking of which, there is a lot of returning voice actors for this game. It's quite impressive, actually.
I am the god of war! Power. All men crave it.
The greatest thieving guy in history suddenly decided to go straight?
Look, here and here. It's a clean job, there's no doubt about it.
You guys sure you want to face me?
This also extends to stage characters like Carmelita, Buzz, or Dr. Nefarious. The arcade mode itself gives you a couple timed matches to complete, 2 matches which are basically just first to 3 kills wins, and then the best part of the arcade mode by far, the rival battles. Each character has a pre-selected rival, and in this cutscene both end up in a fight, and I've got to be honest, I prefer this over Subspace Emissary. I mean, yeah, there's more cutscenes in Subspace and more characters interacting, but basically nobody can speak there. Where this game, they all talk and have their own conflicts, which are far more creative. You tell me a game where Kratos and Sweet Tooth are fighting over ice cream isn't creative.
My ice cream cone. That was a mistake, buddy.
A mistake I can correct, if you like.
Maybe you didn't hear me, friend. There's a debt here, and I'm ready to settle up.
Stand aside.
Pick that up and pay for it.
The ghost of Sparta bends to no mortal.
Wait, hold on, how does Sweet Tooth eat ice cream with his mask still on? All of them do have some sort of big contrast or big similarity. Kratos and Sweet Tooth are both the most edgy, mature characters. Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter are both 2-in-1 characters. Evil Cole is evil, gritty and scary, whilst Fat Princess is a PG-friendly character who just wants cake. My favourite is definitely Sly Cooper's cutscene against Nathan Drake. These two really strong, confident, full of themselves personalities, both with the same title as thieves, clashing to gain the same thing. Something both of them have definitely done before. I mean, this is pretty much just the plot of Sly Cooper 1 anyway. Point is, this is just another day to both of them, and this shows that whilst having great rival chemistry, I really wish we saw more of these two together, but I just don't know how that would ever happen. I do like that each character does have their own rival battle cutscene, and because of this, there will be 2 for each rival combo.
One side. I have work to do. Speak clearly. You should have moved when you had the chance. Now, are you going to stand there mumbling, or do you know how to use that sword? Good. Let's hope this provides more than a momentary diversion. Though somehow, I think it won't.
And what's this? Another scoundrel? Some abomination sent by the mysterious force, which Sir Daniel must dispatch with it? Oh, well, I'm sure we can all just see for ourselves.
Tell me who you are and why I should let you walk away.
The actual fights themselves are pretty good in my opinion too. I have heard people say that these can drag on quite a lot, but personally I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think they go on for that much too long, and they feel pretty well paced. They essentially just put you in an arena and force you to fight until one of you gets 3 kills. You then have the final fight against a PlayStation 1 magazine mascot, really niche, I love it, and this guy is Polygon Man. He can turn characters into these evil purple crystal versions, and it'll have you fight 1 to start with, then 2 in a team, and then all 3 of them come back in a team to fight you once more. Pretty fun. Polygon Man can also bring in a few of the map's mini-bosses, and that is really cool. There is also the mission mode. There's general challenges, and then there's character-specific stuff with you doing things like getting kills with tier 1 special attacks, multi-kills with the tier 2 one, kills with the free tier 1, basic stuff like that, but then there is also other challenges like having to use every single attack for a character in a fight. Then there is other stuff like having to use every attack in a fight in a specific order, and I like that. As for the game's style and visuals, it's pretty decent, I'd say. I like the clean, shiny UI, and especially the awesome menus based off of different characters with different backgrounds. Very nice. They even have PlayStation 3 menu themes based off of them, which are also cool. PS All-Stars did get 2 DLC maps and 4 DLC characters, those being Emmett Graves, Kat, Zeus, and Isaac Clarke. Very cool picks overall. And yeah, if it's not obvious, I prefer this game over Smash Brothers, and I'm happy to admit that. With Multiversus dying, an announcement of a sequel would be really good timing, and I mean, we could have a good in-between of what people love about Smash and what people love about PS All-Stars. Because you really have got something great with this finisher mechanic. It just needs to be fine-tuned for some people's tastes. But for now, I definitely recommend picking up a controller and playing PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.